Craig,
Craig, shut the fuck up.
shut the fuck up.
I'm muting you here too.
Craig, your mother, she and I, we're together now. I fucked your mother.
That's
I've been trying to find different ways because I usually go "fuck you, Craig." Like I need to change it up a little bit.
There's just a real clean audio clip of you saying that now.
Yeah, there is. I should have been saving them this whole time. I have not. That would have been a great compilation.
It would. God. Well, it's never too late to start. Maybe that's the season 5 thing.
True. Absolutely true. Craig, shut the fuck up. Hello and welcome to the Hyperfixation, where our friends come onto our show and tell us things that they're excited about for 30 to 45 minutes or longer, because you know what? The timer is a lie. My name is Roma. I use the they and them pronouns, and today I'm joined by our returning guest host, Tensei.
Hello. Hi everybody, I'm back. Did you miss me? Of course not. I'm here with my good friend Roma. Oh, I use he and they. I forgot that. I'm here with my good friend Roma, who's gonna tell me all about Digimon.
What?
How'd you get into it?
What? Hold on. Hold on. Let's see.
I told you I had a bit and it would just make you stop.
It all started when I was born.
Gotta get him early.
Yep. My mom was a Digimon. My dad was a Digimon master. Wait, no, that's fucked up.
Can I make it any more obvious?
Can I make it any more obvious? Oh my god. Should we brain smooth. Are we actually in the episode, or is that the intro bit and then we restart and do the actual episode?
I don't know. This is your show.
This is my show. You know what? This today will be a little different. We're gonna leave it just like this. I
don't know. Maybe a different intro bit will come to us as we're talking.
True. Maybe it'll be the Craig stuff.
Maybe.
So yes, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about Digimon. So let me turn the tables on you. How did you get into Digimon?
Well, I am 35. So when I was a kid, I was the target audience. Digimon was on oh god, I forget if it was called Foxbox at that time, but it was on whatever the like Fox anime kids block was on that also had like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. And so it was just on, so I watched it because I'm a kid and it's animated. And I remember I don't remember exactly like where I started, but I remember that it was always something that I looked forward to. And I remember there was a day where my parents had to go do something and they left me with my grandmother. And the finale of the first season was a big like 2-part thing that was airing that day. I don't remember if it was the premiere of it or if it was just something else, but I remember that my mom came to pick me up like just as it was starting, and so I forced her to wait there for a full like hour so that I could actually watch the finale of Digimon Adventure and not like skip anything.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
It's good. It's good times. So no, I don't remember exactly where I started, but I remember falling in love with it enough that I abused my powers as a small child.
I don't think I was quite the right age range for Digimon when it came out. I was probably far too young, but I still remember catching reruns of it occasionally. That I think that's the downside of being an ADHD child, not being able to sit still long enough in front of a television, is that I missed out on a lot of that like TV show nostalgia. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of in the same boat, but on the opposite end, where I was also a very ADHD child, significantly worse than I am now. But I was also heavily medicated back then, so
Oh yeah, I remember the little blue pill. Got to take it every morning.
I don't want to go into my.
Oh, you don't have to.
I had a long medication history. I had one of my medicine management doctors thought that it was fun to just try new drugs.
Oh,
And so I do not remember everything that I was on. It was a lot because they basically took the approach of, oh, try this one for a month, see how it feels. Okay, there's a new one here. Try this one for a month, see how it feels. Like,
oh man.
even when we found one that was good, the doctor was like, but we could do better. And
He's like competitive and like competitive gaming, but with medication. What the hell?
yeah, she was something else. I think my mom got fed up with it because I switched medicine management doctors a few times
hmm
until we found somebody that was like, no, just fucking take Concerta, it's fine.
It's fine. The kid will be fine.
You found one that works. Just do that.
Stick with
Just do that one.
it. Yeah. So Digimon. I
Digimon.
what was it? I remember. There's a handful that I remember before the show, like significantly, or that we discussed about before the show. Renamon being one of them, very iconic. But otherwise, I think I just remember the basic premise of the show and where they're kids who live it. It's like an isekai, isn't it? Kind of.
Yes, Digimon is one of the first isekai. Well before that was like established as a genre.
And
Because
yeah.
it's a bunch of kids at summer camp. There were elementary school kids. I think they were aged up a little bit in the American release because that was like a little bit too young. If I remember right, TK is supposed to be like 4 or something like that.
What?
Um,
I
hold
do
on.
not know a 4-year-old that could manage themselves like that. Oh my god.
I'm gonna fact check myself right now. In the original, he was 6.
Yeah, I still don't know a 6-year-old that can manage themselves like that in an isekai.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, so they were aged up a little bit in the American version. So that a good chunk of them were in middle school. But yeah, it was a bunch of kids at summer camp. And then it started snowing, and then Digivices fell into their hands, and then they fell into the digital world. It was all a very quick, no explanation sort of thing.
we didn't need an explanation though.
We didn't like that was very much it's very much a state of anime right now where like everything gets over explained.
hmm
There was something very fun about the original Digimon Adventure where if you watched it for the first time without any like previous knowledge, you were exploring the digital world with these kids. You knew what they knew and nothing more. And they were having to learn and figure out everything on their own, how everything works. And it was an adventure for the viewer too. It was cool.
That's a good way to move the plot along, I think. A good way to set up explanations is to just, we're all in the same boat. Me us as the viewers and the main characters. We don't know what
Yeah.
the hell's going on.
Yeah, I mean, there of course you have to have some exposition and stuff like that because you have to explain things. They can't figure everything out. These kids aren't, geniuses or whatever. But it was a lot of us like going along for the ride, and then only after things have been established do they find somebody that can explain things. I remember like Leomon explaining the black gears in the first one after they had already fought several people with them.
What are black gears?
Okay, all right, sure. The first arc of Digimon Adventure, um, the sort of deal with it was, look, all of Digimon is sort of smooshed together in my brain, and so for a hot second, I'm like, wait a minute. Oh no, am I mixing up Adventure 1 and 2 because of the Dark Rings? No. Okay. Black Gears were a device that was found by Devimon, the antagonist of like the first introduction arc of Digimon Adventure, the first series.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did is you basically put them into a Digimon and it corrupts them and causes them to go berserk and empowered and, sort of non-consensually turned evil.
Okay.
And so that's how the first few episodes of the show went, where they would find a Digimon infected with black gears, they would fight them until they won and the gears flew out, and then they were like just a guy again.
Okay. So just getting your ass beat ejects the bad gear, and then
Yeah.
what did they do with the gears? Did they just like did it just dissipate, or did they like
Yeah,
collect
they
them?
they kind of broke into voxels
Okay.
um when when they're knocked out, they just kind of disappeared. So they never really like got to take and examine one or anything.
Okay. Kid scientists examining this evil black gear.
Yeah.
So I don't know what direction you want to go in with the overall with how you wanted to hyperfixate. I know I'll just kind of ask questions as we go along, but
Oh, I don't fucking know. We can just talk.
we could just talk. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I asked you before the show started, but just so the listeners can hear, what is your current favorite Digimon?
My current favorite Digimon, again, it changes all the time. I love a vast majority of these little guys. I'm not gonna say all of them because there are some
Mhm.
bads.
Some
Um,
duds.
but yeah, um for whatever reason in the original series, I really liked the Dark Master Metal Seedramon, who was one of the last villains.
Heyo.
Um, and his line starts at Betamon, which I thought was I don't know, I love that little smooth frog guy.
Just a little man.
Just a little guy. Where I've opened up so many tabs with new things.
There he is. There's Betamon. Just a little frog looking guy.
Yeah, there's Betamon, and then they later made a more spiky version of him called Betamon X.
Just slightly more spikier. He kind of looks like a
Yeah.
watermelon. Spiky
you're not
watermelon.
you're not wrong. Honestly.
Okay. We're both currently on the wikimon.net looking at the list of Pokemon.
No.
I am. What the fuck is Betsumon?
Oh no, you found it. God. Okay, Betsumon is why I say I can't love all these little guys.
But he's wearing the outfit of a Pokemon that's actually cute. What is this man?
You're gonna keep saying Pokemon throughout the whole episode.
Oh shit, I'm so sorry. It's the Mon at the end. I'm sorry.
That's why I was like, nope, try again.
What the fuck is this Digimon?
God. Betsumon is an asshole and a bastard in every appearance.
Is radiating bastard energy.
He is a trickster Digimon who like takes the appearance of other Digimon in order to be a bastard. And give them all penises for no reason.
Yeah, that was something that I noticed. Unfortunately.
If you scroll down on his page, the very first screenshot is Omegamon with just a giant dick hanging out.
Yep. Look at this little bastard. What the fuck?
He's a horrible little guy. He is also skipping ahead, I guess, a little bit. the latest series that came out was Ghost Game. And that was a very like horror-based show. Every episode was some sort of horror trope, and it went on for almost 70 episodes, so there was a lot.
Damn.
They did both more traditional horror, like mummies and pumpkins and that sort of thing, but they also did more existential horror. And the only episode of Ghost Game that like really got me, because this is my like primal fear as well, is the one that Betsumon was the antagonist in, because Betsumon turns himself into Gamamon, the protagonist's Digimon, and starts to mess with the memories of our main character, of Hiro,
Mm-hmm.
so that he begins to forget his original partner of Gamamon. And almost the entire episode is almost seen through Gamamon's eyes, so he's watching as the people that he loves slowly forget about him and is replaced by someone else. And that it's so well told that it really got me. Like, that's the one that made me, that like stuck in my head and made it like hard to sleep, not because it was scary, but just because that bit's stuck in there, you know?
Yeah.
And it had to be done. The one episode that got me had to be done by the worst fucking man possible.
Excuse me?
Just Betsumon is the worst. He's a horrible, horrible
Okay.
person.
You referred to him as a man.
He's a man.
Yeah.
That's straight up a man.
That's a man.
You can Sorry. I was gonna go to a weird place with that. That's just a guy.
That's just a guy. Hit him with your car.
hit him with a bus.
Hit him with a bus.
Put him in the trolley problem, okay? It'll make it super easy.
That is a statement I'm stealing from you. Jeez.
God. I'm gonna stop looking at him now.
I won't.
God, he's going in the thumbnail, isn't he?
No. Maybe.
Okay, all right. That would be such a horrid idea if the thumbnail was two Betsumons who were impersonating the two of us.
You better stop saying words that are good ideas.
I don't think I've said a good idea all podcast. The fuck were we talking about before you just said, who's this guy? Oh, who's your favorite?
Oh, you know, I was growing up as a little girl. You know me. I love cats. I got 3 of them bitches. So Tailmon for sure is up there. Renamon sure is up there. But I think I remember having an emotional attachment to Agumon. Is that his name?
Okay.
Is that the little dinosaur guy?
That's the little main character dinosaur guy, yeah.
Yeah, I had an emotional attachment to him, but probably because he was like the main character's Digimon. He was just a little guy, little man. But yeah, so any Digimon that's like cat shaped or fox shaped, that's in my book. But emotionally, Agumon. But that's just going off of like super vague childhood memories. Oh, and whatever that big rabbit was, there was a big rabbit
from Tamers. The oh my god, why did my brain go blank? I want to say Gallantmon, and that's not right. Gargamon. Is that who you're talking about?
I would
the
have
one
to...
with the big rabbit with machine gun arms and jeans.
Yo. Hold up.
This guy?
Oh my god. No, but yes. Me now loves him. That rules. What the fuck?
Yeah. This is one of the main characters in Tamers, in the same series that Renamon is from. This is the champion or adult form of Terriermon.
Okay. How much Digimon is there? I would imagine there's a lot of it if it's, a show that
has kept going forever. Okay, so in if we're talking about just the shows, there was Digimon Adventure 02, the one with the 3 new kids, or 4. Ken's barely there. Then there was Tamers, the one that everybody loves because it got like weirdly dark with Digimon killing and absorbing and like eating other Digimon. And then there was Frontiers, which was a real low point for the series, and I think it's where a lot of people jumped off because while Frontier I don't think is as bad as people like to talk about it, but it was a massive downgrade from Tamers that we just came off of, which was one of the highest points in the series.
Okay.
After that, there was Digimon Savers, which is my personal favorite because the protagonist won't stop punching Digimon.
What?
Yeah, hold on, let me find a GIF. Oh, come on, there has to be. Oh, this is fine too, I guess. He won't stop fighting Digimon. They're also fucking enormous in this series.
Yo.
Digimon, like rookie Digimon, Agumon is like 5 feet tall. It's a lot. So then after Savers, there was Digimon Cross Wars, or Digimon Fusion in English, and it was actually 3 series long. They went for a really long time with it, and it was all about Digimon fusing together, not in the way that we've seen DNAs before, but like actually combining parts more like Power Rangers style.
Okay.
And it had both really good and really bad ideas all kind of mixed together. In kind of a weird way that maybe I'll get into later. So there are 3 series of Cross Wars, and then we had one that sort of gets half credit because it's not Digimon, it's Applimon, which was application monsters. It was very cell phone based. The main character's Digimon was Google search. And yeah. And all of the other Digimon were based on like maps or calculators or like phone apps or like phone games, including Digimon the phone game, because Agumon comes back in that one as an application for Digimon Adventure, the mobile game. Just
all right. I mean, if it's it sounds, I think out of context without looking at it, I think it sounds extremely ridiculous, but in like a good way. Like
it was. You're not wrong. Honestly, Applimon is a very slept on series because it came out after everybody had kind of dropped off because both Frontier and Savers were not very well received. So a lot of the fan base dropped off in those couple years. Everybody that I talk to about Applimon really loves it, but it was before Digimon's resurgence in like 2020-ish. So it just wasn't seen by a lot of people, and that's very unfortunate.
So that's what we're going to fix today, folks. We're going to all go watch this show right now.
Everybody needs to go watch Applimon Universe or something like that. Hold on, let me find the real name of it because it's just called Applimon, like colloquially. Digimon Universe Appli Monsters. It's real good. It's full of a lot of twists and turns. It's got some of those dark notes from Tamers without going too far. It talks about like what it means to be a protagonist. It talks about what it means to be human. It uses a lot. It goes into a lot of like surveillance state, sort of topics. Is good. It's got a lot of what makes Digimon great in it, except for isekai. It all happens in the real world.
They took the isekai away?
They've been sort of, I don't want to say they've been taking the isekai away from Digimon for a while, because like the first series, Digimon Adventure, was almost entirely in the digital world. Like that's where 98% of that show takes place. In Adventure 02, it was kind of half and half, where since they were able to now travel from real to digital worlds, they were dealing with problems in the digital world most of the time, 60-70%. But then they also like showed the home lives of a lot of these kids and their interactions at school, and we got a lot more I don't want to say slice, like we got a lot more character moments out of it because of that.
More character development kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then Tamers, like the front half of it took place in the real world of Digimon coming through and sort of running amok in the real world and being taken down by an organization. And then only in the latter half do we actually like go to the digital world.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's probably the coolest interpretation of the digital world that we've seen because it's chaos. It's rapidly changing environments. It looks the digital world in Tamers reminds me of a fragmented hard drive where bits of data are not necessarily next to other bits of data that they reference. The entire structure of it is messy and broken and just ripped apart, and things do not lead into environments and biomes where you would expect them to. And I mean, we got that in the first two series as well, a little bit, with places like File Island that had very clean cut, like, oh, here's the ice area, here's the desert, here's the factory area, and it was all sort of sectioned off by really clean lines. Yeah, Tamer's Digital World really got me. I think Tamers is one that I didn't watch as a kid. So I watched it all the way through. I say as a kid, I was a teenager, I think, when I got it from Redacted, and was able to watch it all the way through in Japanese. And so when we finally got to the digital world and they showcased how like broken it was by design, not because something was wrong with it, I was floored. It was an incredible experience seeing this thing that's so unlike any expectation.
Now I have to see this.
It was good. Frontiers, or not Frontiers. Tamers is good. Tamers is real good. It is probably one of the high points of the series. It is a lot of people's favorite, and with really good reason.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. And then after that, we went back to mostly isekai in Frontier. The entire thing was them traveling the digital world on a train. And that's sort of, yeah. And that's sort of how they got from adventure to adventure without having to have like clean delineations. Is like, oh, the train just took us here.
We're just going wherever the train takes it.
Yeah, and we went back to, again, much like in Adventure, in the original Adventure, where they were stuck in the digital world. They could not get out, and so that's where they lived for 95% of the show. And it would have been a cool premise if they had executed on it well. There's just a lot of meandering. A lot of things did not matter at all. Not to the overall plot, not to character growth. They literally did the thing where, like, one of the characters' family had been brainwashed and turned evil, and then they did the whole Green Ranger thing of, like, fighting him and releasing him from control of this evil, and then he became part of the team, except after he became part of the team, nothing changed. He did nothing significant, and the show would have been exactly the same without him there at all.
They just adopted a guy for no reason?
It was one of the characters' brothers, so, like,
oh,
okay, hey, no, you're gonna come with us because, we're family, and you're also a Digimon tamer, and you can help us. But the writers never did anything consequential with him at all. He didn't have any more character growth after that. He didn't help anyone else's character growth. He didn't matter to, like, somebody could literally go into the show and just edit him out, and it would be exactly the same.
Okay. They weren't using all of their tools in the toolbox for this kid, huh?
They were not.
No. There was so much potential.
Yeah. And then Savers kind of did the same thing where you could travel back and forth between the digital world. But they again waited a little ways into the series before they actually went there. Much like Tamers, this Savers was a lot about Digimon coming to the real world through digital gates, and a government organization, the DATS, the Digital Accident Tactics Squad, I think is what it stands for.
Uh-huh.
And it's their job to fight Digimon, return them back to eggs, and then send them back to the digital world.
Like Digimon SWAT team?
Yeah, sorta, yeah. It was a big operation that I don't know how much we got into it, but it definitely felt like it was a government controlled operation.
I'm processing this right now, just like
Yeah.
the you know, the government would know about Digimon in the real world, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Well, it depends, because like in the original adventure, no, they wouldn't, because it was just like all in computers, and the two worlds didn't really affect each other very much, outside of a couple very specific instances. But in like at the end of adventure, yeah, the world knew about them because the two worlds kind of started to merge, and everybody saw the digital world in the sky, and it was kind of a big thing. In Adventure 02, the world knows about him because more people started to get Digimon partners in the real world.
Huh.
We only really followed like the cast that was in Japan, but there was a world tour series of events around the end of the series where we got to go to other countries and we got to see Digimon tamers of other countries doing their thing.
Look at them go. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was cool. They yeah, so like and tamers, obviously the government knew because things are coming through to the real world. Frontier, I don't think they would have known because that took place almost entirely in the digital world, and they didn't really affect each other very much.
Uh-huh.
Savers, of course, the government knows. Cross Wars, I don't know. Again, there's so much that they just didn't go into, that they didn't focus on, that they should have in Cross Wars, that it was kind of a mess.
Mm-hmm.
There are definitely people in the real world who knew about Digimon, but it didn't feel widespread. Applemon, despite almost entirely taking place in the real world, with Digimon running amok, somehow nobody knows except for the main characters and main villains.
Okay, so it's not they haven't fully merged into society.
Yeah. After Applemon was Digimon Adventure Tri, which followed the original kids, the original Digidestin from the first show, as they are becoming adults. They are like graduating high school at this point, and it's just melodrama. That's all it is. It's everybody being really sad all the time as events just sort of happen around them. Somebody described to me why the writing in Digimon Adventure Tri feels so bad in a way that hasn't really left me, because I think it's so perfect. In a proper, like, well-written story, things happen to the protagonists, and the protagonists react, and they actively change the world around them by the way that they react to it. And that's sort of the ebb and flow of a story, of this sort of story. In Digimon Adventure Tri, things just happen to the protagonists over and over and over again, and the way that they respond to it does not affect the world at large.
Does not?
It does not. And it's just a giant series of things happen to the main characters, and then they deal with it, and that's it. Like, the world doesn't change despite them really trying to like ramp up the drama. And so everything sort of falls flat.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to, like you said, there's no stakes, even though they're trying to raise it.
Yeah. I mean, they try to make it feel like there's stakes. They really do. I mean, this is the end. It's It's homeostasis. It's one of the gods of the digital world trying to do a big reset because of humans' interference, and it's them fighting against that reset, but they don't take active steps to fight against it outside of a couple moments. Things just happen. I don't know how to explain it without like going into like really heavy spoilers and like talking about the plot a lot, but that's it. Things just happen without reason or consequence.
Mm.
Despite this being a big, effectively world-shattering event for the protagonists, because if the digital world gets reset, then that means they lose their partners, like forever.
Oh.
They would come back, but without any of the memories that they've spent the last 10 years getting, you know. That would all be lost. It's basically a format, a write zeros to drive of the digital world.
Write zeros to drive?
That's a
Sorry, I don't know that reference.
no, it's fine. In like reformatting a hard drive, reformatting it sort of erases the data that's there, but there is a like more permanent and like full version of a format that's called write zeros to drive, in which you just turn every single bit on an entire hard drive into a zero.
Oh.
So it is a perfect clean slate type deal.
Oh. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. But it didn't, I don't know. It all fell flat. And they continued this trend into the next movie as well.
They did?
They did.
Dun dun dun.
God damn it.
Sorry, did you say god damn it at what you were saying, or god damn it at what I sent you?
What you sent me. How fucking dare you put this in front of my eyes?
Isn't it perfect?
You,
Do you want one?
Roma, you share this with the rest of the class. You share this with the rest of the class right now. You show everybody what you've done.
It's gonna be on the thumbnail. Am I not allowed? So you want one? What kind of bastard do you want?
Oh my god. It's also exactly the opposite of what I originally described. Of like him wearing our skin. It's you've made you wearing the Gatomon skin.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I am the little bastard.
God.
I didn't mean to derail you. I'm so sorry.
Block user.
Oh no. Once this podcast episode is over, you just block me on everything.
What happens if I block somebody in the middle of a call?
That'd be funny if the episode continued recording anyway. I just couldn't hear you.
Oh, because I'm not blocking Craig. I think Craig could hear us both still.
Yeah. That's an experiment for later. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah. The next thing in the series after Try is they continued to torture these poor children in Digimon Adventure Kizuna. Kizuna is a word that just means bonds. Basically, like the like emotional or social ties between people. And it was them as like college kids and being adults. And the whole sort of thing is about, oh, when you stop being children, when you stop having imagination and childlike wonder, you can't keep your Digimon partners anymore for reasons that have never been explained in the last 15 goddamn years. Probably longer. I don't know, 20? Whatever. And the whole thing was about them learning to be adults and learning to accept the fact that they can't be with Digimon anymore. And it's real sad, and there's no reason that they needed to torture these protagonists at all. None.
No. My poor children.
Yeah. And that's the end It's sort of the end of Adventure
Mm-hmm.
because the next movie sort of in that timeline doesn't talk about it much at all. Uh the Digimon Adventure 02 movie might actually be set before it. I'm honestly not sure now that I'm thinking about it. The Digimon Adventure 02 movie is a horror story about wishes.
A horror story.
Yeah, they it's half horror. It's horror from one person's point of view and like a regular action adventure from everybody else's because we are introduced to a new child with a new Digimon
Mm-hmm.
who was given Rui was given an Ukomon at the age of like 3 or 4. And Rui grew up in a very abusive household.
Oh.
One of the scene where we see him get Ukomon is he's wearing like rags, really beat up clothing. His mom told him to just sit on the couch and watch TV, and he did only that. And then she and then to the point where because he wasn't told to do something else, he was told to do that and not talk to anybody. So he didn't get up to like go to the bathroom and he peed on the couch.
Oh.
And his mom got mad at him, stole his pants, and threw him outside in the rain. Like, abusive fucking household where he meets Ukomon.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, he meets his partner Ukomon and is told to make a wish. And he said, I wish that my parents liked me and I wish that I had friends.
Oh.
And by God, does it fucking happen
Oh.
in the most fucked up way possible does it happen. Go watch it yourself. The Digimon Adventure 02 beginnings is or the beginning is an astounding movie. It's very very good, very well told. It's beautiful as well. The animation is like top notch. I think it's the best Digimon has ever had, which makes sense because it's the newest thing.
What's it called again?
Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning, I think.
That art is. I'm just looking at the poster. That art's so pretty.
Oh yeah, the poster is great. God, it's so good in motion that like I can't just find a screenshot to post. But like, sorry, I'm grabbing something.
Do your thing. I'm watching this trailer muted right now.
Like we get some gorgeous shots.
I see some people looking Digimon down there.
Well, a lot of those are people. But then there's Angemon and Angewomon, TK and Kari's angel Digimon from the first series.
Mm-hmm. I know those two.
But no, those are the kids all grown up.
They're all grown up. I'm grown up too.
They're all grown. The younger kids are grown up and like have jobs. This has to be after. This has to be after Kizuna, but they don't talk about it, and they shouldn't.
We're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the sad parts of Digimon.
Only the good.
Only the good. There is so much good in Digimon, though.
Oh yeah. I can't help but keep remembering my more recent memories of Digimon, which is not not Digimon in itself, like I haven't watched it recently. But are you familiar with Drawfee?
Yes, you got me into Drawfee, and I now watch them religiously. There are 3 Drawfees on my watch later playlist right now.
Perfect. I'm so glad I've made an impact on your life, and if it was any impact, it was Drawfee, and that's what I'm here for. The funnier part about all of this is that my partner Tony, he cannot stand Drawfee. Like it's like Tony repellent. If I turn it on, he'll just run away. It's very funny. Like there was one point he's like, "I would love to continue to stand here and talk with you, but Drawfee's on. I must leave."
Drawfee was so weird. I will say I didn't like Drawfee at first. Like when you showed it to me, something felt very weird about the energy that they all had. They
Mhm.
kind of put me off, and I figured out what it was.
What was it?
They all talk, and like the things that they say are like very big energy and very like excited and bombastic, but they all sort of talk with just the most monotone voices that I've heard in a while, and it's sort of jarring in a way
Huh. I've never thought about that.
that like really threw me off for a while.
I could see that. I never took it that way.
Yeah. But they're very exciting. I sort of realized that while you're drawing, you have to be sort of still. You can't animate yourself in the way that like is conducive to like throwing emotion into your voice.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But it rubbed me in kind of a weird way when I very first started listening to him.
What do you call it? I'm trying to remember. I think that might be why I watch them when I go to sleep and didn't realize it until just now. Is that they are just perfectly monotone, so I can be interested, or I could just go to bed and I'd be okay with it.
Okay. Yeah.
But so now that you're a Drawfee fan, do you remember when they Karina did the stream about the Smasher Pass with Digimon?
Yes, I do.
And so that I think about that a lot every time I think of Digimon. Is that something How do you condone Digimon Smasher Pass?
Okay. I Hey, I'm gonna say something, and I want to be very serious about this because it may be a controversial statement, and I want you to tell me if we're gonna cut this out and you don't want me to proceed. Okay?
Okay.
I am very pro ship.
Okay.
Am I okay to continue going?
Pro ship as in like shipping the like could you elaborate?
So pro shipping is, I think that anybody can tell whatever stories they want, under the conditions that stuff gets tagged properly.
Oh, okay.
Most pro and anti-ship arguments are around very taboo subjects of people on the pro ship side saying, yeah, stuff like shota and incest is fine, and or bestiality or is more probably correct in this case of Digimon.
Mhm.
Whereas the anti side is like, no, there are things that shouldn't ever be like published.
Gotcha.
And I'm very on that pro side where I believe anybody can talk about anything as long as they use the tools available to let people know how to opt out before they get in.
Consent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so yes, I am perfectly fine with the Digimon Smasher Pass uh, uh existing.
Okay.
It was a funny watch. Even if I am so ace that I pass every single one myself.
Oh my gosh. I just there's a animated clip by Deep Blue Ink. I love Deep Blue Ink. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Deep Blink is very good. They were on an episode of Drawfee.
Yes, they did animate one of the I think they animated one of the Drawfee Smash Digimon Smasher passes, and I gotta find it now.
I think it's the very first thing that you sent me about Drawfee was Deep Blue Ink's Smasher Pass animation.
I'm looking it up now. It has there it is. Oh no, it's Julia Draws Soulmon is the first thing that pops up, which I will put into the Discord so other people can see it and become Drawfee fans.
Soulmon is also very funny. Like, just put a hat. Put a hat on a Bakemon. It becomes Soulmon.
Mhm.
I will say though, the thing that Julia drew is fucking amazing.
I don't remember what she drew off the top of my head.
It was a big like hunchback like gray ghost with a whole bunch of like jewelry and accessories.
Mhm.
I'm gonna find it.
I found the VOD. I'll link that.
Yeah. I'm also looking at the VOD.
She does it again with one of my favorite VTubers as well, which makes me laugh really hard that she got to at least use it twice. A minimum of twice.
This is the Soulmon that Julia drew.
Oh, that rules. I remember this now.
Yeah. It's got the cool S.
Oh yeah, the cool S. Why does it have a backpack?
I don't know, that's where it keeps the souls. I don't remember. It keeps the souls in the soul skull.
That's where I keep my souls. In the soul skull.
In the soul skull.
Mm-hmm. So, we've talked a lot about Digimon so far today.
We have.
What do you hope to see in the future of Digimon?
Ooh. I I want them to keep exploring new ideas. I think we've had a lot of continuations or remakes or side stories from the original cast. But after Adventure 02, their story was kind of done. It was a very clean ending. But because that was the most popular that the series had been,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of where the company sees the money, and so they keep trying to milk that and like nostalgia. And even though like the Digimon O2 movie was very good and I really enjoyed it, I don't think it was necessary. I think the ending that we got from the actual O2 series was perfect.
Yeah.
We got to see the digital and human worlds become more connected, both physically, like in the worlds, and in the bonds between people. People became very accepting of Digimon. Like everybody had part. It was good. Not to spoil the ending of a 30-year-old show or whatever. It's not that old, but it was a very good and clean ending. That I don't remember if it tied up every single loose end, but like it was done. And then they just sort of had to, hey, let's bring back all these kids and let's trauma dump all over them in Try and Kizuna. And it was just unnecessary. So I want to see them continue to explore more things, and I want to present new ideas. Maybe go back to some old ideas. Maybe take another crack at fusion mechanics. Um, maybe um I don't know. I want to see new things. I don't want to retread old ground. I want to be surprised.
Okay. Something fresh, something new.
Yeah.
Okay. Digimon be good.
Digimon be good. We've gotten distracted so many times. I think I've probably only told you about maybe half of the shows and movies. It's been going on for a long time. There's a ton of movies. They remade the original adventure and it was kind of bad. Um they there's Ghost Game, which I've mentioned but didn't really talk about in one of those lists. Like there's so many video games and there's so many manga that tell different stories, and there's so much. Digimon is a massive, massive, massive franchise that honestly, if you put all of the stuff that Digimon has done between the games and the manga and the shows and the movies and the like all of it, everything, it may actually be close to Pokemon in the amount of stuff that it has. Definitely not in popularity, definitely not in sales numbers or anything that would like look good to like a shareholder type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in like quantity of content, I think Pokemon has 10-15% more than Digimon.
Hey, yo. I'm slamming my fists on the table. Give us more Digimon!
Give us more Digimon. I want pictures of Digimon on my desk by 5.
Damn it, Parker. Um,
I did ask people for questions that they wanted or topics that they wanted to talk about. If we want to just do non sequiturs into things.
yeah, like what?
I need to go find it. Let's see. I asked in a couple different places. So what is the part of Digimon that you think anyone could like and relate to?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't honestly know if there's a clean answer to that, because Digimon has done so much and it's done explored so many different ideas that I think everybody can find a piece of something in it that that they would enjoy and could relate to. Um but I don't think there's like one universal piece, you know?
Yeah.
I know that I definitely saw myself in Haru, in the protagonist of Apply Monsters, in constantly being sort of unsure of their place in life and learning to them like what it meant to be a protagonist and what it meant to be a main character of their own story, and sort of taking hold of your own life. And that really resonated with me because I'm in my mid-30s. I find myself lost a lot, you know?
Same. I'm lost all the time.
Yeah, where am I and how did I get here?
What has happened in the past 28 years, man?
What's happened in the past 28 minutes?
Oh, Digimon. That's an easy answer.
Yeah, Digimon. But no, I mean, I think that like the original series had a definite sense of adventure to it, of like exploring new things and learning about a world and doing so alongside your friends that all have different skill sets and views and are able to like look at the same situation in different ways. And I think that that's really fun. And like the second season was about sort of balancing two different lives. um I could see it for like teenagers and young adults being like being able to relate to balancing, you know, a job and school or a job in their social life.
Mm-hmm.
And like every season is going to have something for somebody. Or no, that's not right. That's not what I meant to say.
What'd you mean to say?
Within the entirety of Digimon, there is something for everybody.
There's a buffet out there. You just got to go into it.
Yeah. Every episode is someone's favorite.
Can I hit you with a bit of an out of left field question?
Sure.
Because you know you mentioned that every episode could be someone's favorite. Like there's something out there for everyone.
Yeah.
It makes me curious about what is the Digimon community like? You know how like certain fandoms have like their own sort of like they're well known for being like X, Y, or Z. Like what is it like in the Digimon fandom? Do you know?
I'm not a fucking part of that community. Absolutely not.
No. Oh my god.
Fandoms fandoms are dangerous and toxic, and I don't want anything to do with them.
Oh my god.
I want to enjoy the things that I enjoy. I don't know if the Digimon community is like that, because while I'm like here talking about it, and I have friends that are really into Digimon, I am definitely I have not stepped into nor really seen the much larger like whole Digimon community. I know there are like Discord servers out there dedicated to it, and Reddits, and like I'm not in any of that. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Hmm. It will remain a mystery.
Yeah, but like I've seen I've seen other fandoms and I've heard horror stories. Like I've heard about people in the Steven Universe fandom getting that cosplayer to commit suicide. I've
Oh.
heard about all of the fragmentation in like homestuck factions of people like getting to attack each other. Like I've seen some of the really big negative things,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not want to spoil my favorite things with that sort of uh knowledge and experience.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. I think the most in a Digimon like fandom I've been is I used to roleplay on a Digimon forum,
Mm-hmm.
which is very conveniently called DFRP, Digimon Forum Roleplay. If anybody wants to head over there, it's actually kind of fun.
Oh, I bet. Okay,
And
so
it's still around.
that's sick. I used to do some like forum roleplay on Gaia Online like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it gives me like the happy warm fuzzies of like, oh yes, I'm so glad people still do that.
That's where I got my start role playing, is on a Naruto like RP board.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, I just jumped like 15 years like into the past. Just thinking about that. Oh my goodness.
Way almost 20 years for me. Late 2006 is when I started. I was a senior in high school.
Actually, that was how I learned how to type really fast.
Oh?
Yeah, I learned when it was chat rooms and it was also role playing on Gaia Online. Like I wanted to be able to keep
Oh,
up with everybody else.
it was it was a lot more in the moment than, you know, typing out several paragraphs
It was both.
of like a forum.
So like at the same time that I was in the forum, you know, like I wanted to get the everything written out and, you know, make it beautiful with my HTML text and all that jazz and get it posted in time because, you know, I couldn't go and see what the other person said until I was done.
Yeah.
/ chatting in chat rooms. Like, I can't keep up the conversation if I'm not typing fast enough. They'll just move way beyond me.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, that's a good memory. Oh my goodness.
I miss it. I miss it so much.
Mm-hmm.
I miss having the time to be able to do it.
Yeah. Now I've got my once a week One Piece roleplay, and that shit's good as fuck.
Oh, nice.
It's so good. I'm a pirate.
I'll say, yeah, now we play tabletop RPGs.
Yep. That's who we've become now. Let's see. Digimon.
Digimon?
Have you ever made your own?
Fucking absolutely I have. Hold on, I'm about to upload a bunch of files to this server.
I've asked the correct question.
You have. Have I made my own Digimon? Who do you think I am? I just gotta figure out where I put them. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, that's only a few of them. Where's the other? Yeah, here we go. All right. I commissioned from an amazing artist, Jamie Saiki. This is one of the very first things I ever commissioned, and it was an entire Digimon line, all the way from baby up to ultra.
This rules.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. What's his name?
The base form is Travimon, a portmanteau of travel and Riki Tiki Tavi, because it's supposed to be a mongoose. Which again, because I like putting jokes that are only for me into certain things. Mongoose is a brand of roller skate. So
Ah.
like I said, I'm a sucker for skates. So like the base form is just an anthropomorphic mongoose in like elbow pads and big heelys. And then it gets a lot longer as it gets to like roller skates, and then we start putting like some turbo boosters on it because you have to add more tech. You have to add more tech if you get Digimon evolutions.
Oh yeah.
Until the final ultra stage is just wheels and thrusters and I told Jamie when she first showed me the sketch of this guy that I'm in love with this wheel that's on the inner thigh, that like no matter how you tipped this boy over, he could never use that wheel. It's literally not capable of touching the ground. And yeah, the very first, it was supposed to be an actual play, but we ended up not being too comfortable with that, so we made it sort of an offline game. But the first like tabletop RPG that I played with strangers was Animon Story, and I used Travimon in that. And here's some shots that I again commissioned from Jamie at the end of that season with all of our kids and Armon.
Aww. Look at him.
Look at all the little guys.
That's so precious.
Yeah. I love roleplay. I love Digimon, and I love any chance when I get to combine the two.
Oh yeah. That's how I feel about our One Piece game. It's like I love One Piece and I love roleplay, and we now get to do both.
Yeah.
This is so cool. Thank you for sharing this with me. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Have you ever made a Digimon OC?
No, like I said, I came into this episode mostly blind. Like I watched some of it as a kid, but I didn't get super into Digimon. I didn't get into a lot of things as a kid. I think I played a lot of Club Penguin. You know what I mean? Or like cool math games. I don't know what I was doing back then.
So I'm gonna come on this show several times probably, and I'm gonna talk about kids things that I probably should have watched growing up. I only watched the original Digimon Adventure and a little bit of 2 growing up. I am much more of a child now than I was back then. For whatever reason, I wanted to grow up and I wanted to be mature and I wanted to be an adult even when I was a little kid. So my like media consumption outside of like the anime cartoon blocks was was Spin City. It was Drew Carey Show. Whose Line Is It Anyway? It was Stargate. It was Star Trek. Like that was me as a kid watching adult shows. And now that I'm an adult and can appreciate all of this for what it is, I've gone back and I've watched all of Digimon as an adult. The Ben 10 episode, I don't think I saw my first episode of Ben 10 until I was like 26. Like I'm in the middle of watching Beyblade right now. Like
Beyblade ruled, okay?
Beyblade still rules. There's a series going on right now.
What?
Yeah, Beyblade X. I think we're 39 episodes in.
Jesus Christ.
And it's so goddamn funny. I don't know if this is a spoiler because it's like one of the main things about the show. The main character has never won a fight on screen. Ever.
Oh.
Not casual, not in like the pro league. Every single time we have seen the main character Bay battle, always lost. And we're 39 episodes into the show, and it's so funny.
Just let the boy win.
He's actively bad at the game. Like he's straight up just not on par with the other people that he's fighting against or with. And he knows it, and the show knows it, and they talk about it.
Okay. So like, it's a plot thing?
It is a plot point. And like I know that like, you know, we're gonna get up to the very end and they're gonna get to like championship top of the tower or whatever they're doing at the end of this. And like he's finally gonna score his first win in the last fight of the last episode or whatever. But so far the main like pro team that we're following is somebody who is like an average amateur level fighter. We have somebody who is doing the equivalent of using a League of Legends Smurf account because they were in the #1 team and they decided, hey, being the best of the best is really boring. All the fights are the same. I'm going to put on a helmet, change my name, and go back down to the beginning.
Okay.
And then you have an idol who is the best person on the show and has the coolest theme music.
Of course.
Who is like your sort of average pro player skill level. So you have look, this is a Beyblade show now. It's so good. The dynamic is so ludicrous. Their team is sponsored by a sushi shop that keeps putting non-fish ingredients into sushi.
Oh?
Like they've definitely made s'mores sushi and natto and just a bunch of nonsense things that do not pair with rice. It's funny. It's a funny show. Everybody should watch Beyblade.
Everybody should watch Beyblade.
Everybody should watch Beyblade and Bakugan and Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And and Monster Rancher and just sort of all of these.
All of it.
Go consume every single show in the world right now.
Go sit down, buckle up. It's time.
Go buy 47 monitors.
It's like Clockwork Orange yourself into watching all these shows.
And then put a different show in each of the four corners of each of those 47 monitors.
Oh. That's how I feel about studying for an exam last minute.
Yeah. I have more non sequiturs if you want.
That would be good. More questions, you mean?
More questions. More questions that I can just ask without any transition into them.
Yeah.
We've already done some of these. I've got part of it that maybe only you like and why. I've done that. We've talked about that. The stuff that sounds bonkers to say out loud. I've said a lot of bonkers things this episode.
Yep.
Favorite entry points is an interesting question. I feel like the beginning of almost any season is a good entry point into the series.
Just jump in wherever.
Yeah, because most of the stuff is disconnected. Like, I don't think I would suggest Adventure 02 as somebody's first, because even though you can take it straight like that, it does continue on from the first one. Um so I think you'd be missing a lot of context, but you can start with Adventure 01, you can start with Tamers, you can start with Ghost Game, you can start with, maybe not start with Apply because that sort of builds off original. You can start with Savers. Savers is a very fun place to start. It will skew your expectations for everything else. But yeah, no, I mean, there's so every series starts fresh. Anywhere's a good entry point. If you want, like, I think the like lowest common denominator, most popular, highest rated sort of thing to jump into Tamers. Start there. It's a real high point for the series. It's the pacing of it is wonderful, and the way that they keep bringing you in with new twists sort of keeps you coming back. That's my answer to that. Tamers is a good place to start. And it's only the third season, so like there's so much more after that, and it gets better. You don't have to like go backwards and sort of like worsen the quality for yourself. Like I would Ghost Game would also be an interesting place to start, but that's the most recent of the full series. And so you would the quality does improve, like visually. The quality does improve as we keep going along. And I know that sometimes it can be hard to go back and watch older things because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, none of them are particularly bad. I think some of the palettes in Adventure can be a little bit flat compared to stuff now, but like none of it's bad, but I don't want to like suggest anyone put themselves in that position, you know?
What's Oh no, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
No.
you.
No, I was just going to say a different one. What do you got?
What's like I know we talked a lot about things that you like and things that you love and things that you're like it's like kind of wild, I guess. Is there anything that you hate about Digimon?
Only not in sort of a grand scheme. Actually no, that's incorrect. Yes, there is. The English dubs of the old stuff I really hate.
Yeah?
Because it was the 4Kids era.
Oh.
And so while they didn't go as overboard as they do with some other things, like, you know, removing the guns from Yu-Gi-Oh so people are just pointing fingers threateningly all the time. They didn't quite go that far, but the dialogue is so vastly different. And it's just puns. It's puns and quips and jokes always all the time, and as a kid that's very fun. But as an adult, I'm just, oh my fucking god, shut up. Because it's just non-stop, and it's all like one-liners. It's not things with clever setups. I primarily watch Digimon in Japanese. Not because I think it's like I don't do a lot of the like sub versus dub argument. I don't think there is a superior way to watch it. I watch things in Japanese because that's what comes out first. But for Digimon, Adventure 01 and 2 in Adventure and Adventure 02 in particular, I would definitely suggest watching it subtitled if you are somebody whose brain can handle it that way, and that like subtitles aren't distracting for you, because of the ludicrous liberty that the localizers took with the dialogue. It takes some of the intensity out of a lot of situations.
Wait, so the English dub decided to do some crazy shit?
Not, I mean, it's not like Ghost Stories levels of crazy shit. If you're familiar with that, but it's just jokes. It's just jokes and one-liners all the time, without changing the plot.
Huh. Why did they do this?
Because it's a kids show. Kids love jokes. Gotta make them laugh.
Gotta make them laugh.
Kids are not allowed to handle intense feelings unless it's happiness.
Oh, true. I forgot. I forgot that was the rule.
Yeah, right? You have to think about the children.
How could I not be more considerate of the children?
uh yeah. We've come a very long way in localization since then.
I think that was something we talked about a lot on the Tenchi Muyo episode as well.
Oh yeah.
It's a little vague in my head right now, but I remember they had like I'm not gonna do this justice, so I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, but that the American localization back in the day was kind of buck wild, honestly.
Yeah. I didn't see a lot of Tenchi Muyo as a kid. I mean, it was on Toonami, so I like caught bits of it. But that in the original context, that was a pretty sexualized show, wasn't it?
Yeah, harem anime kind of deal.
Yeah. And I'm betting that's where a lot of the US censorship was, if I had to take a guess.
I couldn't say.
I'm sorry, I don't listen to your show.
No, you're Fuck! That's super funny. What you don't know is that the last episode, there was a whole heartfelt moment about where me and Plakos were like talking to each other, and Plakos was like, I love listening to your show and I love being on your show, and I'm like, ooh fingers, oh thank you so much. And so at the end of this episode, you're like, I don't fucking know, I don't listen to your show. It's fucking killed me in retrospect. So I think the listeners are gonna kind of pick up on that joke too, which is super fucking funny to me. And it doesn't bother me at all. You're totally fine. I don't expect any. It is a God-given miracle that people listen to this show.
No. Like, I love the idea of hyperfix. I really do. This is a I said this to a whole lot of people after I did the Ben 10 episode. We're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is a place where I can just come and I can sit and I can talk and I can keep going and I don't have to hold myself back for fear that I'm being annoying or disruptive. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to have the constant anxiety of like, should I stop talking? It's very free. The place that you've created here is very freeing and comforting
No.
in the best possible way.
I'm wiggling.
And the fact that you cover such a wide, huge range of topics is incredible.
I actually, funny you say that. I made a TikTok today that listed out every episode that we have covered, and it's been anywhere from religion, anime and video games, television. We've talked about surgical technologists, which was kind of fun. Not kind of fun. That was kind of wild, but very fun.
Yeah.
It's just history.
You've had an episode on Golden Age radio.
Oh, such a good episode.
You've had an episode on presidential assassinations.
Yes.
Like, and there's one that I feel I need to go back and listen to because I see during season 2 there's a channel just called Clown History.
Dude, we had a certified clown come on and talk to us about clown history. Ken is absolutely wonderful. That episode was so much fun. To just get to know like where clowns came from. And
that's really cool.
Doing this show and being able to like go to my work wife, who she's kind of the source of my info dump immediately after an episode, or like the day an episode comes out, and it'd be like, Raven, guess what I learned about today, or guess what I learned about last night. And she'll be like, okay, okay, and you nod her head. But man, no, I love doing this show. I've learned so much random stuff.
It's such a cool space that you've made for people.
Thank you. I'll fucking do it again.
And again and again. And
that's a threat and a promise.
The hyperfixation will continue until morale improves.
I need that as a poster. I need a poster that's like, you know how they have like 0 days since our last incident?
Yeah.
I need one that says 0 days since our last info dump, because that's life. I know we're kind of we're kind of our ADHD kicked in, and so we fell kind of far away from Digimon, but I'd like to fall a little farther for just a moment.
Okay, yeah.
I've been info dumping on my partner about Dexter lately, the show about the serial killer. I've been binge watching the fuck out of that.
Okay. You have to say that because my brain immediately went to, wait, the serial killer one or Dexter's Lab?
Yeah, the serial killer one. Which the funny thing is that there is labs in both. So you almost have to be slightly even more specific, like Cartoon Network or Showtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's been where I live. I might, maybe I'll do an episode on it. Who knows? I just got to finish all 8 seasons. We'll get there. I love Dexter.
That show went on for 8 seasons.
8 seasons. And we're in season 2, and I don't know how we get 6 more seasons out of this. But I'm going to find out.
By milking it.
Yep. This man made $800,000 an episode. The main character, Michael C. Hall. $800,000 an episode. Just to be autistic.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I want to do that. Where's my $800K an episode?
Right? So I am getting paid for this, right?
Hey, patrons. I'm gonna need you to bump it up.
Oh no, hold on. I have to perform a very dangerous maneuver. I have to switch headsets in the middle of a recording.
Uh-oh.
Because mine just yelled at me that the battery was low.
Gotcha.
So I'll be right back and hope that this doesn't fuck up Reaper.
Well, hopefully Craig doesn't fuck up. So now that it's just you and I, listeners. So, you know, I love you. You've been so good to me. And you should give yourself a little pat on the back. I'm proud of you. You've done a great job. You're doing hard. You're working hard every day. You're doing your best. You're trying to get your sleeps. You're trying to get your serotonin. Keep up the good work. You got this. Mwah. Love you.
Okay.
You're back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And Reaper can also still hear me. Meaning I did it correctly.
Huzzah! You did it!
I did it!
Let's see.
Did you keep the audience entertained?
Yeah, I praised them and I gave them loves and kisses.
Oh, that's so nice.
Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes you just gotta be told you're doing a good job and someone's proud of you. So you know what? I love you and I'm proud of you and you're doing a good job, Tensei. Keep up the good work.
Oh.
You work so hard.
I do. I work so hard. It's so hard coming on podcasts and talking about Digimon.
I know. But you keep doing it. You're doing so good.
Keep doing it.
Do you have any other thoughts on Digimon? I'm sure you do. But do you have more thoughts you'd like to share?
I have so many thoughts on Digimon.
I crack open your noggin. It's full of Digimon.
It's just like there's a section of my brain where you can see Ben 10, Digimon, and Power Rangers constantly just fighting for the number 1 spot.
There's territory wars in your brain.
Yeah.
Good lord.
What is Digimon? Digimon is so much. There's so many things. So many good things I want to say, and I don't know how to tell what's important and what's not.
What's your favorite episode of Digimon off the top of your head? First one that pops up.
Oh god, that's so difficult. Because since I've watched them as an adult, I tended to like binge through them.
Yeah.
So there a lot of times there aren't clear delineations. I think there's a really great moment in Savers.
Mm-hmm.
The one where the main protagonist can't stop punching guys in the face. Where they're fighting against the Royal Knights, which is like the sort of big They are the god of the digital world's personal elite guard, effectively. And Craniumon, a very defensive Digimon with an enormous spear, is about to land a killing blow on the protagonist's Digimon when Masaru jumps up on top of his own Digimon and punches the spear coming down at him.
Yo.
I'm gonna share a link. Because it's absolutely ludicrous. Because there's no way that in text I can describe to you the like size disparity of what's going on here. But this episode that just shows exactly how far Masaru is willing to go for his partner and the fights that he's willing to take on. And I really hope you're
Oh,
watching it right now.
I am
Yeah.
watching it right now. I love it when protagonists do dumb shit.
Oh, that's this whole series is him doing incredibly dumb shit.
That is some anime shit if I've ever seen it.
Right? I love anime. You get to see the stupidest things put with the most intense backing tracks just to make the absurdity look really cool.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna have to watch some episodes of that for my own character for this One Piece roleplay, though.
Oh, I do have one other thing. I was looking for a place to insert it, but I never found one. Because before we started recording, you said that one of your favorites was Gabumon.
Yeah.
And so I was looking for a good place to insert this picture. Um,
1 second. 1 second. Oh no! It's Easter!
Gabumon died for your sins.
He did. He did die for my sins.
This is a screenshot from the 2020 remake of the first adventure series and is probably the series' biggest legacy, honestly. Because the remake was not good. But there's a actually I think there's two things that came out of this. There's that, and so this is the way that this scene was originally translated, or this screenshot, and it's a little bit redundant, as you can see.
Oh yeah.
So people sort of ran real far with it, and why is that? God damn it! Hold on, fucking web peas.
Oh, just copy paste it.
There we go. So people sort of ran with it a little bit. This is Gabumon, just so you know, just to make it very clear. Oh no, did I lose you? Oh no, I think I lost Roma. I'm not good at keeping an audience entertained. What do I do? What do I say? If Roma praised the audience, I guess I can be like derogatory. I don't know where to go with that joke. Editor, you put up with so much shit.
Hello?
Hello?
I'm the editor.
You are the editor. I thought. Oh, is Kingdom not the editor anymore?
Oh, I've been editing them this season.
Okay.
I think the microphone died I was using.
Yeah.
So I switched to my headset, so I'm gonna sound a little lower quality, but you can still hear me, and that's all that matters.
It's fine.
I will live.
You will live. Are you sure?
No, but it'll be fine. I'll just die a little bit.
Anyway, yeah, the legacy of Digimon Adventure 2020 is these two images basically.
Gabumon. He is Gabumon. So did you hear me say who is that? Oh, it's Gabumon? Oh, I said that.
No, I did not.
Damn. Dang it.
That means Craig didn't hear you either. Oh no.
Oh, beans. Well, now I said it.
You can just like cut it so you said that earlier.
You know what? I think I like the chaos. I'll live for the chaos. As I'm drawing you as something you don't want to be drawn as, but
Uh,
not in a bad way.
but not in a bad way?
Not like in
Is that possible?
you know, have you ever seen that meme where it's like when you have an artist friend, but they remind you that they can draw you pregnant? So it's not like that.
No,
You've not seen that?
I've not seen that.
Yeah, that's like there was another version of that where it's like when you all school, but you know that you would all draw each other pregnant. Um, which I've only weaponized that once with consent, but
Ugh.
it was for the bit. But I'm not doing that currently. I'm doing something that I think to some may be considered worse. Who knows? We'll find out when it's done. Actually, the listeners already know, they could see it, but
Yeah. Hey, so I've said a few times that like, hey, you can draw my OCs, do whatever you want with them. Artists friends, please don't draw me pregnant. Jamie, I don't know if you're listening to this. Please don't. Please don't.
no, now you're making it fun. You shouldn't have said anything.
Ah,
Now it's a bigger threat.
look, you are the editor and you control the words that come out of my mouth, okay?
I would never do that. Oh my god. Unless. No, I wouldn't. Oh god. But I am having a blast over here.
I do have an editor on another show that I occasionally guest on who has continually told both me and the host like, "Hey, I do everything in my power to make you two sound smart. You have to help me."
Got him. Oh my god.
uh
Oh.
we're at an hour 51. This episode isn't nearly long enough yet.
That sent fear into me.
How much time you got?
I mean, I don't have anything else planned today, but future me is scared of just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. We also probably shouldn't record on the bad quality headset because you have cut out a couple times.
I gotta turn crisp off. Is this better?
I won't know with a single sentence. It's been kind of rare. So
Okay. Yeah, this is a problem that this headset does give me. Um, but it also happens when I forget how I forget to speak with my diaphragm, you know?
oh yeah,
And so
words are
crisp,
hard.
yeah,
Speaking
words
is
are
hard.
hard.
The crisp noise suppression is both so good and my worst enemy at the same time
Yeah.
because it is incredibly good at knowing when somebody isn't talking.
Mhm.
Like it's so good at knowing that like that's a vacuum, that's a cat, whatever, that's not a person. But then if you as a person make a weird noise, it also goes, that's not a person. I'm gonna cut that out.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I'm not done
I'm
yet. I'm not done yet.
my whole body is tense in anticipation. I'm bracing for impact.
I almost forgot a spot. Did I forget anything else? I did. No, I didn't. I think I got everything. I didn't shade it, but I don't need to do that.
Oh, I do have one thing I kind of want to go into a little bit
Go for it.
because I forgot I promised people that I would actually talk about Frontier like at length
Yeah?
because like I said earlier, Frontier is a point that a lot of people left the series because it was a very low point after after the very high of Tamers. And I see this one on my Discord and I'm so afraid to click it. Fuck.
Do you like it? We match.
Do we? Are you sure?
I'm gonna put us together now. I gotta leave space for text.
God.
Oh, wrong one. I just put 2 of you.
This isn't even like a side shot so we can look like we're facing each other and talking. We are both assaulting the audience.
Hold on. How big is that character?
Uh Betsumon or the guy he's impersonating?
I you know what? I'm gonna guesstimate and you're gonna tell me if I'm correct.
Oh no.
Size chart?
No.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm looking for a very particular screenshot. So Betsumon is about the size of a person.
Oh, okay.
Uh, so the size disparity is enormous, and maybe not the best idea to try and capture it in a small thumbnail.
Ooh, I have an idea.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh fuck! I know what I just did. God damn it! You're gonna don't put yourself on my shoulders.
Too late. I'm just a little guy. I fixed it.
Well, see, this can't be the whole thumbnail because now you can't see my dick.
Oh.
These are words that I thought I would be saying today. I'm going to talk about Frontiers a little bit.
Do it. Oh, I have an idea.
So, Frontiers was a show that went a little bit more back to basics in that we now have a group of kids, only 3 this time, that are sent into a digital world and cannot get out. They find a trained Digimon, a Locomon, for locomotive, not for crazy, just to get that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna navigate away from that page for a second.
Not yet.
From that chat. You just sent me something else. I have to go back. Thanks. I hate it. And so they explore a digital world and they can go to a bunch of different environments and they can do a bunch of different things without having to have very strict like movement through a world. They can be on a train and you can like say, "Oh, hey, whatever amount of time passed and they're just in a new place." So they don't have to worry about some cohesion that they normally would in others in some of the other series. Because Digimon has always been a very heavily serialized show. Even if some bits of it can feel episodic because they do like set up and resolve B plots within each episode. It's Digimon has always been the sort of thing where you can kind of go from one episode to the next and not stop in between and you kind of know where everybody's at. But in Frontier, they could just take a train and like be different places and not have to worry about it. And so that was kind of a cool premise that they worked around. Frontier is also the one where the kids did not have partner Digimon. They had Digi-spirits, and they could turn into Digimon.
Oh.
So, not only did we have the smaller cast of only 3 of them, but they also didn't have a partner there explaining the world. They had 2 other sidekicks isn't the right word, guides, I guess, that were on the train with them. Bokomon and Nemon, who one of them is Bokomon was kind of very smart. He knew a lot of things about the digital world and could sort of exist as an explainer and for both the kids and the audience. Because again, Digimon is a show where the characters in the show learn things at the same rate that the audience does, mostly. But the characters that they had were not 3, 4. Sorry, this show takes up so little place in my memory. I need to make sure I'm not forgetting people. There's 5. 6. More people are coming back to me. God damn it. Hold on.
Holding.
Can you tell how little I care about this particular series?
Just a little bit. Just a tad.
Okay, there were 5 originally, and then the 6th came in later, which I said is one of the characters' brothers. But everybody's very archetypical. You have leader who takes the initiative. You have sort of broody guy who fights with the leader. You have a very sort of Matt and Ty relationship there.
Mm-hmm.
You have a very reasonable person who becomes sort of just a running fat joke, which is not fun a lot of the time.
No.
You have the small child who does not want to be here, and you have the girl.
The girl.
The girl. Yep, there's only one girl in this series, and she sure is the girl.
Sure is.
I'm gonna be honest, I do not remember what the A plot is of Frontier. I do not remember what the through line is. I remember that they just keep going to different places and like solving the problem of the day. I remember that there are Digimon beast spirits that that they can sort of inhabit, and that they all have like a sort of bestial form, a more humanoid form, and then I think the final one is called hybrid, if I'm remembering right. And I remember that the are you a brother? Are you a cousin? You don't share the same name. Who are you? Who are you related to? He's the twin brother of of Koji, who is like the sort of brooding foil to the courageous main character. But they don't share the same surname.
Okay.
In Koji Minamoto and Koichi Kimura.
Half siblings?
It says older twin brother.
Older? By like a few minutes?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
I guess they did the like Matt and TK thing where their parents divorced and they got separated. But I don't know. I don't know how divorce names work in Japan, I guess. I guess I'm looking at that through a very American lens, and I shouldn't be.
That's a solid point.
Yeah. But anyway, he's brainwashed by one of the big bads and fights against them a lot until they release him from control, and then he comes along for the ride and does nothing else for the rest of the series. I love a good Green Ranger arc. I love an antagonist that has a power similar to but better than the main characters, and they can fight equally with the entire team, that then they like release from mind control and he joins up and is a good force. I love that plot line, but it's handled in probably the worst possible way because he becomes useless immediately afterwards.
Oh, darn.
Useless is not the right word. Irrelevant.
Yeah, that's a better word.
Frontier is a show that set up a lot of very good things. I really like the idea of the kids going through this world and not having a partner to bail them out all the time. They don't have a little guy to just fight for them and defend them. They have to do it themselves. I really like that. I really like the idea of being on a train and using that as a way to explore a much larger world without having to worry about cohesion. That's fun because you can kind of do whatever you want with that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a mind controlled Digidestined that also has like family drama. I love that. It's very good. Everything is handled so poorly that it's all just, it's such good theory and such bad execution, and it makes me sad because I can forgive a season if it's just boring because I can go, oh yeah, whatever, not for me. But this was stuff that could have been good and wasn't.
Lost potential.
Yeah. And there we go. That's what I'm going to say about that because I'm going to be honest, I did watch all of Frontier. I binged it fully just like I did everything else. And I saw it the once, had a very sort of emotional roller coaster with it of like, oh, maybe they'll do, this is a cool thing, maybe they'll do it right. Nope. No, they didn't. They chose the most boring route possible, and that's, I remember the vibes of it without remembering what actually happened.
I'm sorry. Did you have a thought you were transitioning to?
No.
Okay.
I'm just upset. I upset myself.
No. I might cut this out depending on your answer, but I have a question that's kind of left field and I've never done before on this show.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to give it a preface. So you remember how I was having issues with my recording software?
Yeah.
Well, it took a shit. Um, which is okay. We have Craig. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Um, but I am hungry. And so I don't want to stop you because I'm very invested in Digimon right now,
Okay.
but I would like to eat something. So, Craig should still record if I put in my AirPods and go make food while we continue this conversation, right?
As long as Discord is still picking up your mic, as long as I can hear you, Craig can hear you.
Okay. So, would you like to do a first time on this show where I'm cooking something to eat and maybe eat something while you talk to me about Digimon?
Sure. Okay.
This is probably going to be the most natural environment that I've ever been in because this is usually how I accept info dumpings is usually while I'm doing like a side activity and listening and maybe eating something. So I just wanted to make sure it was cool with you before I did that said action because my audio quality will drop, but it shouldn't be too bad.
I mean, again, it's your show.
It is
Like,
my show, but you are my guest, so I want to make sure that you're happy first, before above all else.
go for it.
Fuck yeah,
We'll see how it goes.
we'll see how it goes. Grab my AirPods. I might make eggs. What do you like to eat?
I'm a very sort of meat, cheese, and potatoes sort of person.
I respect that.
Not very picky, but
Here we go.
oh, I heard that pop. I thought it was my headphones freaking out for a second.
Nope, that was me.
No, because it was like, you know how if you like change your voice and video settings in Discord, your headphones will do that little like pop noise as it like realigns. I think the noise suppression is going to be even more aggressive to AirPods.
I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, how about now?
Okay, all right. That's probably as clean as you're gonna get.
I'll live. And I'm sorry at home listeners.
Yeah. Well, you just clean it up real good.
I will just clean it up real good after I make these cheese raviolis.
Use a de-esser, use an all-pass filter. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay. You want any raviolis?
I would love some raviolis. Do you deliver?
Okay.
How close are you to Topeka, Kansas?
I'm in Florida, so they're probably not going to be like ideal when they get there, but they'll be there. If I have anything to do with it. This is going to be so fun.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to cook something. Well, maybe I should do that as an episode where it cooks like a whole ass meal.
Just move your whole recording setup into your kitchen.
Yeah. Boil 4 quarts of water. Okay, back to Digimon.
Back to Digimon. Okay, I'm kind of done talking about Frontier because I don't have a lot more to say about it. Because again, I keep good and fun things in my brain, and things that I don't enjoy tend to filter out after a period of time. So I honestly remember very little about Frontier, other than like I really wish it executed better.
Yeah.
You know what could use a remake? Frontier could use a remake. We didn't need to remake Adventure. But let's give Beast Spirits a shot again.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
I have more audience questions if you want.
Let's see. Do I have any questions?
Do you have any questions? What do you want to know? What forbidden digi-knowledge does your heart desire?
It's so hard to say because right now it's like I'm still in absorption mode. You know what I mean? Like I'm here for the long haul of absorbing concepts and like
Yeah.
plot summaries, but I'm like in a video game where the map only shows up where you've already been.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm still exploring the territory. So you know what? Go ahead and pick another audience sourced question and then I will probably jump off of those.
Let's see. I've got where did you go? Oh god, I touched on this earlier, but I had somebody ask me about a digital afterlife. Do all Digimon go to heaven?
Do Digimon go to hell?
No. So Digimon actually has, and this is a through line through pretty much the entire series. Um, it's been sort of the one constant is that Digimon reincarnate.
Oh?
As I said, when I was sort of talking about savers, I sort of glossed over this, but I said that like Digimon come to the real world, and then there's the government organization that fights them, so they turn back into eggs, and that's how Digimon works. There is like a, a sort of a set number of Digimon, I guess you could say, because when you kill one, they become bits of data that, depending on the series, they either turn into an egg right there, or they go back to the world tree, or to primary village, or to like a location and become an egg.
Okay.
And then from that egg, a new Digimon will hatch. Sometimes they have some memories of their previous life, sometimes they're completely reset, but there is a cycle of reincarnation. And that's actually kind of why Tamers was dark, because it took people out of that cycle of reincarnation. Digimon Tamers, a big focus was Digimon get stronger by absorbing the data of Digimon that they defeat. So if they defeated another Digimon and turned it back into like just raw data, they could absorb it. And by doing that, it removed them from the cycle of reincarnation while powering up the Digimon that absorbed it. And this is something that our heroes also did a lot before they sort of realized the implications of it.
Oh, fuck.
Renamon in particular was from the beginning probably the most powerful of the three, because she sought out, fought Digimon, fought everyone that she could, and absorbed every one of them that she could to become more powerful and to keep her partner safe. So that's kind of how that season begins, is with that. So there is no digital afterlife. There's digital new life. They become a new thing.
Okay.
And because of the way that evolution works, and that evolution is very branching in Digimon, it's entirely possible that it does not become the same Digimon next time. It could take a whole different evolution path and become something entirely different in its next life.
So the data's recycled, but it's not necessarily going to be recycled into the same thing.
Yeah, that's how. I guess it's not. I guess it's not the reason that they did it was to explain this, but like the show would be very different if everything cycled like that, because that means that every time they beat a villain, it would just come back in a few years and be the same villain again. Every Digimon that becomes an egg and goes back to primary village or whatever has the opportunity to be raised in a better way next time.
Oh, an option for a new start.
Yeah, it's reincarnation and reformation.
Oh, I like that a lot. You know, for contrast purposes, like compare and contrast. Do you know if Pokemon have a heaven or hell?
So I honestly don't know that much about Pokemon.
I respect that. Me neither.
I don't hate it, you know. I'm not gonna do the like Digimon versus Pokemon fight.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything there.
No.
But neither the show nor the core Pokemon games really grab me. So I just don't know a lot about it because I never played through them. I never watched a lot. But from my limited understanding, Marowak is the only Pokemon that's allowed to die. Everybody else just faints. I don't know how true that is.
Okay.
That's all I know.
My quick Google search says throughout the history of the Pokemon world, many people and Pokemon have been known to have perished.
Oh yeah, people can die.
Well, Pokemon can too. And there's extinct Pokemon, so yeah, I guess they can die.
Oh, that's right. There are extinct Pokemon until you make them not extinct by taking a fossil to a scientist, and then they go, "Aha! I know what to do. Here, have an Aerodactyl."
Aerodactyls are extinct?
Aerodactyls are extinct.
Oh.
You get them from a fossil.
What do you think about that, raviolis?
Do you ever think about death raviolis?
I do.
Death comma raviolis, not death hyphen raviolis. That's a different thing that I'm now contemplating.
Mm-hmm. Death raviolis.
Death raviolis. it's like that oh my god, what is it called? The chicken wings roulette thing where like one of them is spiced super hot.
Oh, and you have to fake it. That is not spicy.
Or no, like it's a sort of Russian roulette kind of game, but with chicken wings. What if that, but with ravioli? Like one of them just has a different meat inside.
You know, I could be down for that.
Fuck, I would too, actually.
Or like your whole pot of ravioli, but one of them is super spicy, and you just don't know.
Yeah.
That would be spooky. Do you think Digimon would eat ravioli?
Yes.
Can they?
Meat is a plant. It grows from the ground.
What?
I'm gonna find a picture of it, and you'll go, yep.
Oh, is this a reference?
No, this is straight up the way that meat grows in Digimon. The main food they eat is big shanks of meat on a bone, and it grows out of the ground like a root vegetable.
Oh, that sounds like some delicious and dungeon shit.
And they grow it on farms. Look at this. Oh, you can't look at it. You're in the kitchen making raviolis.
Nope, I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's some Luffy meat.
Yep. Also, just as a bonus, that's my boy, Metal Seedramon, right there in front.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my favorite guy. One of my favorite guys. Guy that I had a weird obsession with as a kid, and I could not tell you why. I just liked them.
I mean, that's a good enough reason for me.
Because they didn't do much in the show. They were the first Dark Master to appear. Or not the first Dark Master to appear. They were the first. It was the first Dark Master to be defeated in kind of a gruesome way, actually. You know War Greymon, right?
I feel like based off of that name, I could figure out which one it is. So it's it's the dinosaur guy, but he's gray.
Yeah, well, no, he's got a bunch of. It's Agumon's like final form.
Yeah. Is he hot? Or would he technically be hot?
He's wearing a lot of metal, so sure. I think he'd be very hot underneath all that.
Oh, is it the picture you sent in?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wouldn't say so, but
That's War Greymon. I think we're using different definitions of the word hot.
yeah.
I think he would easily gain a fever, is what I'm saying. But the claws that he has are called they're called Drummon killers, and they're very effective against Digimon with the word Drummon in them as like dragon.
Oh.
And so Seedramon is weak to those. And how War Greymon kills Metal Seedramon in the show is he like puts the claws out in front of him, sort of spins real fast, and drills through the nose and down the entire body.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's a little bit gruesome.
Yeah.
Meat grows on farms, I think is where we're going with that. So yes, I think Digimon would love a ravioli.
Well, good, because I just finished cooking my raviolis.
Because Digimon are shown to eat a fair number of things. Since the kids in the original version were transported from like a summer camp, one of them did have like the medical supplies and rations on them when they went to the digital world.
Yeah.
And so the Digimon are shown eating like protein bars and stuff like that. They throughout the series are shown like eating hamburgers and ramen and chocolate. They can eat things like a normal person would. Conversely, I don't think I've ever seen a human eat this ground meat. I could be wrong, but nothing's coming to mind.
I mean, maybe in secret, maybe it's processed.
Maybe.
All right, I'm back at my desk. I'm going to switch back over to the headset.
Hello, you are back.
Hopefully sounding a little bit better.
A little bit. I'm turning you up though. There's this headset is quieter. So I'm turning you up a little bit.
Usually it's the other way around. Hopefully you can't hear me eating.
I can't hear you eating, but I can hear that your mouth is full. You know, if that helps.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much at the end of my list of questions that I got from people. I have one that I've kind of already talked about. What is the most overlooked game or series in your eyes? Savers. Because Savers came after Frontier, so a lot of people had already left the franchise. And so Savers got overlooked by a lot of people because they just didn't care about Digimon anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And it's gotta be my favorite one for silliness. Because just Masaru just can't stop punching Digimon. And in fact, he needs to punch them.
Why?
His Agumon only evolves if Masaru punches another Digimon.
Is that how that usually goes?
No. In fact, it doesn't work that way for anybody else in the series except him.
What an honor.
Yeah.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah. In Savers, you put part of what's called your Digisoul into your Digimon and they evolve. And most people who have a partner Digimon sort of, I guess, produce it naturally or can like will it out. And so that's how the others in the show evolve their partners. But Masaru has to punch a Digimon and steal some of it. It's good. It's great. I think he punches somebody at least every 2 episodes of this 50 some odd episode series.
At least 25 something punches.
Yeah. I mean, literally his first encounter with his own Digimon is them beating the shit out of each other.
That's how they met?
That's how they met.
That sounds about right for his character, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I don't know how much of this translated over to the English version, but in Japanese, they call each other by terms that are generally used in like mafia or yakuza type groups.
They refer to each other in like gang terms?
Yeah. It's real great. Masaru is like the leader of the 6th grade delinquents of, hold on, he's got a stupid title. Let me find it. Nope, not the fucking Danganronpa version. This
Wait, he shares a name with the Danganronpa character?
Yeah, Daimon Masaru is his name, is the name of the main character in Digimon Savers, but is also somebody from Danganronpa Another Episode Ultra Despair Girls.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna be honest, they don't look the same, but they look like they have the same vibes.
Like a typecasting kind of deal?
I know he's got a weird ass title that he calls himself. I'm probably not gonna find it unless I actually watch the episode again. But he says he's like boss of the delinquents of Otori Municipal Junior High School.
That's a title.
Because so we all know that age is fake in anime. That like nobody knows how to draw anybody of any age. But if you scroll back up to that gif of him and Agumon punching each other, how old do you think he is?
Let's see. I would say like 16 or 17 if I had to guess. Like,
yeah, you'd say he's like an older high schooler, right?
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, of course he is.
Who looks similar to and is the same height as like actual adults.
You know, I've met some 14-year-olds that are really fucking tall, but yeah.
Right, but they still have like baby feet. You could meet a tall 14-year-old and you would not say like, hey, that kid's probably got a job, you know?
Yeah. Are you okay, tall child? You've been burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, no, that's a middle schooler. That's a middle schooler who doesn't go to school and likes to punch people, and it's great. Everybody needs to watch Digimon Savers.
That's the homework assignment, everyone.
But I also am going to say that Digimon Savers is the least Digimon of all of the series. Because something sort of quintessential to Digimon ever since the very beginning is not protagonist, but like all of the kids, like learning about what their weaknesses are and overcoming them and becoming better people because of it. And they do this through the trials and tribulations of being lost in another world and having to deal with problems that are much larger than themselves and that they are not equipped for. Digimon Savers does not have that. It chooses to go an entirely different route with its growth and its storytelling. So it loses a lot of the like core of what of if you were to ask somebody like what is a Digimon story, they would talk about this very specific way of character growth. And Savers just flat out does not have it. Not to say it doesn't have character growth. It does. And it does it in a very more traditional way, I guess I would say, in that, you know, things happen and people overcome them and they learn more about themselves in doing so and learn to be better people. But it doesn't happen in the same way that it normally does in Digimon, of people being in circumstances that they shouldn't be in, solving problems of a world not their own.
This reminds me of what you said earlier, like when I asked you what kind of future you wanted for Digimon and how to do something fresh and something different. It sounds like they sort of did that with this one.
They really did. There's a lot of every series does things kind of different. As long as they're not trying to rehash adventure, Digimon does a pretty decent job of exploring new ideas. Some of them work and some of them don't, but they are always trying new things. And this one has some very good things. It has, again, people putting themselves on the front lines and actually fighting Digimon. It has an older group of protagonists. It has them working as an actual like organization with rules and a hierarchy that's not just kids all the way down. It's got new ways for the bonds between Digimon and their tamer to interact. And oh, this series also had, I can't believe I forgot about him.
Forgot about what?
This series has a character, the like kid character in in Savers is somebody who was like found their way into the digital world as a literal baby and was raised by Digimon in the digital world. It is the first like feral child that Digimon has had.
Like a little caveman child? Or like a boy raised by wolves kind of situation?
Yeah, very boy raised by wolves. Let me find a good screenshot. Here we go. That's Keenan.
Oh, a little guy.
Yeah, or Ikuto in Japanese. A lot of sort of weird Native American stuff going on with him.
Yeah.
Not 100% certain what that's about because that's not really relevant to his character. I'm really hoping that there's something I'm not seeing beyond it looks like the character designers put it on him to make him look more wild and feral. I'm really hoping that's not the case, but I think it is.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
Not great, no.
Yeah. But he is also an amazing character because we get to see somebody who was raised in that world and knows very little about the human world and about like customs, so we get to see a very very boy out of place.
Like kind of like a blank slate from human society.
Yeah. Was raised with entirely different culture and custom and manners.
Like a representation of Digimon culture and manners.
Yes. He was raised by a Digimon, not to be a Digimon. The Digimon know what humans are in this world, but you know, raised by wolves. If the wolves knew what humans were.
I love that. That's a fun spin.
Yeah. Every series does new things, and it's so cool to see whether they succeed or fail at delivering on the new things. It's always a delight to learn what's next.
I love that. That gives me joy.
Unless what's next is the franchise saying, "Hey, once you stop having childlike wonder, you lose your friend of 15 years." That sucks.
Ooh.
You know, that's a bad message. Kizuna is bad and everybody should hate it. I don't know. They tried to be really sad and they tried to be really melancholy and they tried to do a very dramatic thing and it didn't work. But god damn it, they tried. And I understand what they were going for. And I think if they had executed it properly, it could have been a very poignant and sad story, but it wasn't.
Twas not. I've learned so much about Digimon today.
And there's so much more. Like, Digimon is something that's gone on since I was a child and has generally not stopped for too long. Even when we're like in between seasons. Like, there's no currently airing Digimon right now, but they've come out with new books in Digimon Liberators and Seekers, and we've had new games recently with Digimon World Cyber Sleuth, Hacker's Memory, and Next Order. There's new manga. There's always new things coming out, even if it's not the shows. It's just never stopping.
You will get your dumb bitch juice. Do not worry.
Right. And like I said, Digimon had a resurgence a couple years ago in about 2020 when they remade the Adventure series. And since then, going back to mutual interests of ours, there have been a lot of Digimon tabletop RPGs.
Ooh.
There was Animon Story that came out a few years ago that's very, very close to Digimon. That was its heavy inspiration, but you could also use that system to tell like any sort of human and monster story. You could use it for Monster Rancher or Pokemon or Bakugan or things like that. There is A Monster's Tale, which just finished a Kickstarter not that long ago and is going to have one of my OCs in the book.
Yeah, boy. Woot woot.
That is sort of a middle ground between Pokemon and Digimon. There is, oh my god, there's so much. I recently talked with somebody about using Henshin, which is a Power Ranger system, to play like a Digimon Frontier game where you could turn into your Digimon.
Ooh.
Claire Mulcairn just made Digidice. If anybody listens to either Binary Break or Across the Plains, like there's so much good coming out of both official works and the fandom right now. It's a very good time for Digimon.
It's a great time in Digimon to be alive.
Yeah.
You've played some of these games?
I have. I've played Animon Story the most.
Mm-hmm.
That is the first one that I saw that could really replicate Digimon in a pretty good way. That's not trying to get bogged down with mechanics. And it's where those characters I showed you earlier came from. That was the end of my first Animon Story game.
Okay.
And it does a real good job of dealing with the bond between the human and their monster partner and the way that they both grow together along the way. So it's a good time. Everybody check out Animon Story.
Check it out. Do it now. That's your other homework assignment.
Other homework assignment is go find a group of people who all want to play a Digimon tabletop game with, and do it. Just schedule a weekly session. You know that everybody is going to be able to be. That's never a problem, right?
Never a problem.
Right.
Never a problem as I sweat.
Never a problem as my game tonight was just canceled not that long ago.
No. Yeah, my game on Tuesday was canceled too. I understand.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm moving. I'll be moved by the time this comes out, but new location, who dis? New backdrop, who dis? Let's see. I'm definitely interested in watching the Digimon Adventure 02 movie for sure. I think that'll be fun to jump into. And Digimon
it's definitely not a place to start. I'll tell you that.
Well, fuck.
Despite the fact that it's called Beginnings, it is the final like capstone piece to Adventure.
Fuck. So I can't just jump. Oh, I mean, I can. I physically can, but I shouldn't.
You could. I mean, if you don't want to watch everything that leads up to it, you should watch Digimon Adventure 02, like the TV series, and then go to the movie.
Okay.
And that would be the cleanest way to get to it quickly. You'd miss out on a little bit of context that's from the original Adventure series, but not much.
Okay. Not a detrimental amount.
Yeah.
Okay. But definitely gonna watch Pokemon Savers. Or Digimon Savers. Digimon. Fuck, I was doing so good.
It had been almost 2 full hours.
It had almost been 2 full hours.
Oh wait, oh my god, we're coming up on 3 hours. It had been over 2 hours. You did it.
I did it. I'm so proud of myself. What are you doing, Axel? Okay. Sorry, my cat's doing weird shit.
Oh.
But, in a cute way. It's very adorable. I just don't know what he's doing.
He's doing his best.
His best. I don't know. That cat's never done his best in his life. He's hydrated in his lane, unbothered. Let's see. I'm trying to think. We've covered so much ground.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground today. How much steam do you have left in you? Because I can let you keep running, or if you need to wind down, I can wind it down.
I mean, I can keep going, but I am sort of not sure where to go. If given a direction, I can keep going for a while, but I'm just not sure what I'm not sure what piece to like expand on.
We've covered Frontiers, the original series, the original adventure, and we covered Savers, and we covered we talked about the new movie a little bit. I feel like there's stuff we haven't talked about in terms of content.
I've given basic thoughts on all of them.
On all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ghost Game is also fucking adorable.
Is that a movie or that's a game?
That was the TV series that's like all horror tropes.
Right.
But it also gives us just the best Digimon. Like, look at this little guy. Look at him, he's so happy on a Roomba.
Oh, I love Digimon on a Roomba.
Yeah.
He's living his best life.
This Digimon is a very, very good representation of like a 3-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He's so happy. Everything is good. He sort of makes up his own words for different things and feelings that he doesn't have the proper words to really describe. And he's just so fucking cute and happy all the time.
Just a little guy, little fella, little man. I love the little bandana. Okay. I'm trying to think. There's got to be something we haven't covered yet. But I don't know what that looks like. What are you thinking right now?
I'm looking at gifs of Gamamon right now in the Discord.
I mean, we could start winding it down then.
We could
have some closing thoughts.
I just smile a lot when I look at this little guy.
Me too. You little baby man.
I will say one more thing about Ghost Game is that while Digimon doesn't generally have a problem of like one-note characters, the people in it feel pretty fleshed out and multidimensional. I think the characters in Ghost Game feel the most real.
Okay.
Everybody is very complicated. They have so much of their own thing going on. And even though some personality traits are exaggerated because it is an anime, it needs to kind of be big. Everybody is full. Everybody is a full person. Even the Digimon.
Whole ass bean.
Yeah, they've all got their own stuff going on. They've all got their own like desires and goals that they're pursuing behind the scenes outside of the A plot. All of the characters are more than what the show needs them to be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many things that they do that are not like plot relevant, they're not consequential, but they do matter to understanding the fullness of character. And it's amazing. It's so well written. Except the end. The ending sucks. But until then it's all just a constant uphill.
Yeah, sometimes people can't quite get that landing right, but that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of suffer from the issue that Ghost Game was significantly less serialized than any other Digimon series. It is mostly episodic, to the point where there's very little connection in between episodes other than like character growth. There's not a lot of plot connection between episodes. You can kind of jump in wherever you want and not be lost. But in like the last 2 or 3 episodes, they went, oh right, we have to actually like finish a story. So
Oops.
They shoved way too much plot into those last couple episodes, and like nothing is given a chance to we're not given a chance to digest anything. They just sort of throw a lot of stuff at us to make sure that there is a way to end, and it's messy.
Ugh.
But up until that point, up until like the last couple episodes, this almost became my favorite series.
So close.
Yeah, so close. It just didn't stick the landing.
Damn.
But it's so cute.
So cute.
I like it a lot.
I'm glad. I'm glad you like it a lot.
And I would give up all of my possessions to Gamamon if he asked.
Can I have your credit card, please? Yes, you can.
Absolutely. Go buy $7,000 worth of chocolates like I know you're going to.
That's perfect. As a future financial advisor, that's exactly how I would spend $7,000.
He does enjoy chocolate a lot.
Oh god.
His main driving force through the entire show is protect hero, obtain chocolate. Those are that's what motivates him.
You know, maybe my life is too complicated. Maybe I really should take a note from this guy. I should really just simplify my desires in life. Really just go with the flow of things. Protect my own, get chocolate. Profit.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. That's something I'm going to take away from this for sure.
That you know what? That's the moral of this episode. You always have to close on a moral, right?
I mean, now we can. Do I normally close on a moral?
No, but like Digimon was sort of from the time when there was like I think it's the Hays Code, where like, you know, if you have a violent show, you have to have a good message for kids.
Gotcha.
You know, that sort of thing.
I remember they used to have things at the ends of certain episodes where it's like, don't start house fires with this message.
Yeah. That's not in Digimon, because Digimon came at kind of the end of that, so it didn't have to follow it a lot. But like that's why you have like the Sonic Says segment at the end of all of the old Sonic episodes, where like, hey, here's the moral of the day. And you had the messages about like fighting as a last resort, and like trying to make friends with your bullies at the end of Power Rangers episodes.
Make friends with your abusers.
Yeah, that was a message at the end of a lot of original Power, like the post credits sort or during credits sort of message was a whole lot of like, hey, just talk to your bullies, maybe they'll be friends, which is wildly incorrect.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah. But that was the rules at the time. You had to have a good message for kids if you wanted to punch someone in your TV show.
What else have we learned from Digimon? We've learned there's power in friendship. That's for sure. That's one of them.
There is power in friendship.
What other morals?
As long as that friendship is with little monsters.
I mean,
not the movie Little Monsters, but like monsters who are tiny.
I guess you could say most of my friends are little monsters. Goblins.
Little gobos.
Little gobblers. Let's see. Sometimes you can wish away your problems. That's another one.
Yep. Yeah. Fuck.
Fuck.
That movie is just so sad horror.
Sad horror.
Yeah.
I'm digging through my pile in my head. Please hold.
Yeah. What have you learned from this episode?
I've learned that Digimon is so much more vast than I realized or ever gave it credit to be. But that's not because I had any sort of problem with Digimon. Like I said before, like I just was not. It just never really entered my radar more than in my childhood in passing reruns. And so I find today to be, it really opens my mind up to Digimon in like giving it a lot more credit than I gave it, but also that it had a huge impact on people's lives that I couldn't have like really have known before. until now. Amazing storytelling, sometimes not so amazing storytelling, but you're gonna get that with anything.
Yeah, anything that goes on for so long is going to have very high points and very low
Yeah.
points.
And that it's still going on today. It's still going strong. And um there's just so many thoughts. So Digimon good.
Digimon very good.
Very good.
Like you said about it impacting people, I don't think there's any fan of Digimon that you could talk to that couldn't point to some way that it shaped and changed the way that they look at the world. Because in an era where a lot of American showrunners and animators were afraid to tell, not animators, but like producers, that's what I'm looking for, where a lot of American children's media producers were afraid to tell complicated stories with multi layers.
Yeah.
Digimon didn't. It told the story it wanted to tell, and even if we sort of glossed over it with a huge layer of humor in the US for the early seasons, there was still a lot there. There was still a lot of very heavy themes prevalent throughout the entire series on its entire run. Digimon tells very powerful stories, I feel like.
Yeah.
In the realm of kids media.
It gets to sit on the shelf next to Avatar The Last Airbender for me.
Yeah. I would say we've gotten better at it in recent years. We've had stuff like Steven Universe that talks about loss and grief a lot. We've had Owl House, which is very messy at times.
I love the Owl House.
And Amphibia, and Digimon is, the way that it tells stories is very similar to a lot of the more modern ones because of the sort of multi-layeredness of it all. And it's good. It impacts people in fantastic ways, and it makes us better.
It does. Sure, it fucking does. I love powerful storytelling. It gets you goat, you know?
Yeah. Man, I think that's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
Honestly. People who embraced this show, this franchise as kids are better for it because Digimon is very good at teaching the correct lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Without being like blunt about it.
Yeah. And I need to experience this as an adult.
You do. You should have a watch party.
Watch party. Discord watch party. Get in the Discord and tell us if you want to have a watch party.
I think I still have most of Digimon. Yeah. I've got everything up through the end of Cross Wars of Fusion, including most of the movies.
Yes. I think a movie would be good for a watch party. Probably. So yeah, if you want to have a watch party, let us know. We'll make it happen. But I won't know unless you tell me. Listeners.
Yeah. Get in the comments.
Get in the Discord, get in the comments.
Get in the comments. You want to watch a movie where evil Digimon gain control of actual nuclear weapons in the real world?
Yes? What the fuck?
Yeah. Let's have a watch party. Let's do it.
Let's have a watch party.
Yeah, the first movie is called Our War Game, and it's the threat is nukes.
You know, that's inspired.
Yeah.
Yep. I want to give a heads up. I've got an incoming thunderstorm. So I don't want to rush, but I also know that the internet.
No, I think look, I think we should cut off a little bit ago because I do really feel like a good summation of everything of Digimon is that it tells stories that make people better.
Mm-hmm. Digimon will make you a better person. Pass it on. You don't feel like you're a good person? Watch Digimon. That'll fix you. You'll be right as rain. Gorsh. I feel like that was a good closing thought. Anything else that you wanted to mention before we tie things up?
Nothing immediately comes to mind.
That's okay. And then we've got the Discord if you wanted to enter those thoughts in. Well, first, thank you for coming on and telling me about Digimon and changing my life. It's an absolute honor.
Of course, anytime.
I feel like it's made me a better person already. and now I just need to go watch it. I think that might be what I do after this is go watch some Digimon. Brain so full, brain so swollen right now. Brain so swole, full of Digimon.
Full of Digimon.
Full of Digimon. I forgot how my show structure works. So I'm just gonna hard tangent. Are you ready to give your where people can find you on the internet?
Sure. Oh, right now?
I mean, yeah, you can do that right now, or we could do. It's up to you. You're a free person.
I was waiting for like a structure or a cue, and then just nothing happened.
Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me all over the internet, and by all over the internet, I mean in exactly 2 places: on Discord and Blue Sky at Tensei Dragon, TENSEIDRAGON, where I talk about things that interest me. I am in the Hyperfixation server. I'm in the Moonshot server as well. And I don't say a whole lot, but I read every single message that pops up.
Oh, you here? You're in the shadows.
Or follow me on Blue Sky. I repost pictures of cute anime boys.
Ooh.
And Digimon.
Do you want to talk about Bard Rock Network a little bit?
Oh, sure. As we talked about during the episode, I do a lot of actual play stuff, and that includes shows for the Bard Rock Network. We are a huge network, not huge. We kind of scaled things down a little bit, honestly. But we are a network of actual play podcasts where people can come on and tell whatever stories are important to them. And we'll give you the tools and resources to be able to do that without having to worry about the financial burden of it. And I do a lot of the like production and tech, so you don't see me in a lot of things, but I am behind the scenes making sure that people sound good.
Look at you go.
Or trying my best.
You're doing such a good job. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I'm learning Foley work. It's fun.
You're what? What is that?
Foley is like taking sounds and making them into different sounds to create like environmental effects.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like layering different winds on top of each other, and like doing some volume automation to make sure that it doesn't just sound like a simple loop and it's more natural, and like, I don't know, adding effects to something to make it sound like a running faucet or things of that nature. I'm turning sound into better sound.
That's so fucking cool. Well, keep doing it. I'm proud of you. Did you have anything else that you'd like to plug?
I mean, I'm on so many things, it would take up too much time. I post about it in the Share Your Stuff on the Hyperfixation. I post about it on Blue Sky if I'm doing things.
So go look for it.
If you look for me on either of those places, you'll see when I do things.
You'll see it and then perceive it.
You will.
Okay. Where can you find me on the internet? I can be found on the internet, right?
I assume so.
You can find me on the internet at most places like Twitter and Blue Sky and TikTok at I Appreciate Your Butt at the twitter.com. That is IAPPRECI, the number 8URBUTT. But you can find the podcast as an entire whole at the Hyperfix Pod on Twitter, Tumblr, and Blue Sky, as well as TikTok. A lot of our activities on TikTok. But this podcast wouldn't have happened without the Moonshot Network. So go ahead and give Moonshot some love at Moonshot Pods at the twitter.com or Blue Sky or Tumblr. And then you can also find them at Moonshot Network on Twitch, where the podcasters will occasionally stream. And then we've also got a bunch of fun extra shows on the Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, you can find this show on Patreon at patreon.com/the Hyperfixation. So you can support us making Hyperfixations keep coming out and happening. And you can get episodes early for as little as $1. The intro and outro music is thanks to Offuscate, Ofuskate. And I believe that's all of the plugs. I think we did it.
We did. Oh, there's one more thing.
Oh, one more thing.
We have one more thing that we have to tell people where to find.
What do they have to find?
You can find most of Digimon available on Crunchyroll.
Oh!
If you are so inclined.
Crunchyroll, not sponsored.
Not sponsored. but that is where most of it lives.
Okay, so that's good to know. I do have a Crunchyroll, so I will go find it myself. If I will find it myself if I must. Well, thank you. Be safe. Don't die. Drink your water. Consume emotionally compelling stories in your childhood. And badoo. We did it.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye. Get out of here, Craig.
Goodbye forever.